$14,580 per year for the low income, what they just decided. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know right here in the video. Let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to focus on this $14,580 and what it means for you as a low income or fixed income beneficiary, as this directly impacts about 100 million people all across the country. Now, this is a very, very important number. And again, I want to break down exactly the details of it and why it is so important, because it directly pertains to your eligibility for a variety of programs that are out there right now for the low income and fixed income beneficiaries. Again, I will elaborate and explain exactly what all this means and the decision they just made right here in this video. Let's get into it and discuss the details a little bit further. Really fast before we do, thanks for joining me. If you have not done so yet, make sure to do yourself a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button right down below the video. It is totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day, advocating on your behalf, watching all the headlines, the new bills, packages, proposals, announcements, anything popping up you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low-income or fixed-income beneficiary, including but not limited to money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus checks, monthly checks, and the list goes on and on. Things are changing very rapidly right now, and as I've said for a few months now, 2024 is all about you, the low-income and fixed-income beneficiary. A lot of things are happening right now. Either way, I've got you. I've got your back. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I'm watching all the details and bringing it to you every single day in these short videos. Again, super busy time out there. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. And also feel free to share the video with your friends, family, and social media. There's a share button right down below the video as well. All right, thank you so much. Let's get into it and talk about $14,580 a year for the low income. Sounds pretty nice, right? Yeah, I totally agree. Even though many people need significantly more than that, at least it is a good starting point. And again, I want to break down the details of the decision that was made as of right now. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a little bit surprising to me. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see if this comes in a little bit higher at some point here in the coming weeks or the next couple months here, if this decision does change. But this is as of right now. We're still very early on for 2024. There's a lot of months ahead of us, and this is subject to change at some point, likely moving higher. But again, let me break down the details as of right now, what all this means on an annualized basis, what it means on a monthly basis, and how this directly pertains to your eligibility for a variety of programs out there, specifically focused on low income. Like I said, there's about 100 million people across the entire country right now that fall into this low income category. It's a lot of people, seriously. Just imagine the population of the United States right now is about 334 million people, and about a third of them fall into this low income category. It's a lot of people, right? Seriously, a third of the people out there, which by the way, there's just under 40 million people alone living in poverty in the United States. That's crazy. That is a huge number. That's a big number that they need to work on. So anyway, let me break down the details of this. So this $14,580 is the federal poverty line for 2024. Now here's what's interesting about it. Remember what the federal poverty line was for 2023? Yeah, you guessed it, the same, $14,580. So this is very interesting to me. Why it is kept the same does not make any sense whatsoever to me. Now here's the thing. From 2022 into 2023, they increased the federal poverty line by about 5.51%. Now, the anticipation would have been that they would have increased the federal poverty line yet again from 2023 into 2024 by some percentage point. It could have been 3%, could have been 4%, could have been 5%, could have been 5.5%, something like this again. It would have likely been increasing. But to keep the federal poverty line at the exact same over what it was the previous year, $14,580, seems a little bit weird to me, which is why I said a minute or two ago, I would not be surprised one bit to see this number coming in and updated in the coming weeks or the next couple months here. I would not be shocked one bit to see this updated. It seems very weird to me that it's staying the exact same for right now. Why would it stay the same? The situation has changed, right? The cost of living has increased. As a result of that, the federal poverty line should also be increased as well, right? But anyway, now let me break down the details of this. So $14,580 on an annualized basis is $1,215 on a monthly basis, okay? Now, this is what income actually determines somebody as falling above or below the federal poverty line, right? So income on an annualized basis, again, $14,580. On a monthly basis, $1,215, okay? Now, why is this so important, okay? Here is why it is so important. Think of all the different programs that are out there. I could name off a bunch of them right now. Let me point out a couple popular programs out there that we've all heard about so many times. And let me just point them out really quickly, okay? SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, ACP, Affordability Connectivity Program, which is basically the free internet program, right? LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. This is the one that pays for gas bills, electrical bills, stuff like this, right? LIHWAP, Low Income Home Water Assistance Program. Obviously, that one helps pay for your water bills, right? WAP, Weatherization Assistance Program. The list goes on and on. We could call it housing assistance, all kinds of things like this. Section 8, that's kind of like the outdated term for housing assistance, but you get my point. There's so many different programs out there. Those are just a couple. In fact, as of right now, there's over 100 different programs out there right now dedicated to the low income, okay? Over 100 of them right now. There's a ton of them. WIC, by the way, Women, Infant, Children, TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. Again, I could sit here for a long time naming out different acronyms and different names for all these different programs that are out there right now for the low income. But what do all of these programs have in common? The eligibility is based on your income as a percentage of the federal poverty line. It's all based on that. Every single one of these programs is always based on your income as a result of the federal poverty line. So, why is this so important? Depends on the program that you're looking at. Some programs have an eligibility cutoff of 100% of the federal poverty line. In other words, your income can be up to 100% of the federal poverty line, not a penny more, otherwise you're not eligible. Some of them are 130%, some are 150%, some are 200% of the federal poverty line. It depends on the program that we're looking at. All of these programs are very different, but it's all a function of the federal poverty line. As the federal poverty line changes, that just means it makes it a little bit easier for more people to take advantage of these programs, okay? So again, that's why this number is so incredibly important. So we want to always keep an eye on what the federal poverty line is doing. So as it adjusts, as it changes, as it continues to move up or stays the same in this case right here for right now, again, I wouldn't be shocked one bit to see it being adjusted higher. This also determines your eligibility for a lot of the programs that are out there now, okay? So we want to continue watching this closely. Now, one other reason that I want to continue watching the federal poverty line very closely is, you've probably heard me talk about it before, there are pieces of legislation out there, believe it or not, standalone piece of legislation out there that want to raise benefits up to the federal poverty line, okay? Now, obviously, if the federal poverty line goes up, that means your benefit would also go up significantly as a result of matching the federal poverty line, right? Let me give you one quick example. The SSI Restoration Act. If you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you've heard me talk about it. This is a program that is dedicated to the SSI program, Supplemental Security Income. But one of the provisions within this does what? Raising benefits up to the federal poverty line, which again would raise benefits from $943 as an individual up to $1,215 a month. That's a difference of, what is the difference on that? To like $268, I think. Is that right? I think so. Anyway, it's about right. Anyway, a pretty significant increase to monthly benefits. Again, I was just kind of roughly adding the math there in my head, so I'm probably off a little bit, but roughly thereabout, okay? My point is, that is a significant increase to benefits. So, obviously, the SSI Restoration Act has not passed yet. I've talked about the details of that before in other videos, but my point is, if they were to pass the SSI Restoration Act and this one provision for SSI beneficiaries came into play, well, guess what? This is what benefits would look like. Pretty amazing, right? So again, the federal poverty line, incredibly important numbers. So, and another thing too, like I said at the beginning of the video, right? I said that almost 40 million people are currently living in poverty in the United States as of right now. That means that their income is below this $14,580 on an annualized basis. That is how that is determined, okay? Do you think in an election year, right now, 2024, do you think in an election year that these politicians, these talking head people out there, do you think that they want a big poverty number? No. The answer is no. What do we hear these people talk about all the time? Let's eradicate poverty. Have they ever done that? No. They haven't done it, but do they want to? Well, that's for anybody to decide, but I would say they say that they want to, but do their actions actually, show that they want to eradicate poverty? No, right? So, again, it's another very important thing. The higher the poverty line goes, the more people that are essentially below the federal poverty line. Does that kind of make sense, right? So again, it's a very, very important number. And again, I can't sit here long enough and tell you how important this number is. It's very, very important. If there was no federal poverty line, or if the federal poverty line was at like $6,000, it'd be a big, big difference here. We would be talking about a totally different thing, but it's not. There's a lot of people that are sitting below that federal poverty line, especially people that are living on a fixed income benefit like Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA benefits, seniors, people with disabilities. There's a lot of people that fall in these categories that are well below the federal poverty line. So anyway, very important decision. This is out there as of right now. Again, I anticipate this is going to change. I'm not sure why it would stay the same. It doesn't make any logical sense. Again, I like to look at everything logically. Does it make logical sense when inflation is still very high, the cost of living has gone up substantially, for the federal poverty line to stay at the exact same of what it was the year prior? In my head, that does not make any sense whatsoever. Who knows? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I actually feel like I pretty much do know what I'm talking about, right? But that's just what they've decided. I have no influence on what this decision comes out as, but to me, I look at the situation and think, this doesn't make any sense. I anticipate it's probably going to be updated again. We'll see. Not really sure what's going on, but I'll continue to keep you posted on anything else that I find out there. Again, very, very important number. I would anticipate it'll probably go up anywhere between about 3 to 5.5% again for this year over last year. We'll see what happens here. Either way, very important. Of course, I'll continue watching everything very, very closely here. As I get more information on anything, I'll be right here for you, right by your side every single day, breaking it all down and giving you the latest details, as well as pointing out anything you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, if you have not done so, make sure to subscribe down below. Do yourself a huge favor, subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned with all the videos coming out. A lot of things are happening very, very fast right now. It's a super busy time we're currently living through. Otherwise, subscribe, share the video with your friends on my social media. There's a share button down below. Go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those that I have linked down below in the description or at the top of the comment section. And of course, leave your comments, questions, feedback down below. Until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll catch you again later.